This one secret will 10x your in-game confidence. I'm just going to tell you what it is right now. It's tracking what you can control, but this is going to be in a different way than you have thought about this before. It's something that I wish I always had, something that I keep trying to do now. You ever notice that the confidence, it feels like it disappears the second you need it most, right? Like you're halfway through a game, you miss a shot. The next possession, you're like thinking about the missed shot. Then you miss that shot again, and now you're doing the math. You're like 0 for 2. Don't mess up. Coach is watching. I'm going to get pulled out. Everyone's watching. It's going to go down. Okay. The best athletes don't just find confidence. They are proving it to themselves over and over and over again. And they are collecting the evidence in real time, day in, day out to do so. That is the fastest way to build confidence. It is tracking the evidence from the tiniest controllables, from like your breath, your feet resetting, all the way to the predictable habits, the daily standards, the macro, right? This week's theme is confidence through tracking, micro to macro control. And if you do not know who I am, my name is Gabe Rummel, and this is the Mental Performance Playbook. I started this to deliver some actionable exercises for athletes, but their parents, the coaches, to use, to have as implementable ways to build their confidence, to handle pressure, because I didn't see anything like it, and I wanted to make that for them. Started our business, founded The Athlete's Health, which is bringing you the Mental Performance Playbook. We have our Fronoic gym of mental exercises and mental weight room where you get to train your mind like you train your body. Each week we have a theme, we get some guests on, and we always have a topic to talk about, or if it's with the guests, we just ramble and talk sports, talk athletics, talk the mental side of the game. I've rambled too much now, so without further ado, let's dive deep into confidence through tracking. We're going to break down from micro into macro. Eventually soon, I'm going to have a little way to write things down, and you can check it out too. I want to make sure that we first understand this overall broad main category here. And this is a confidence scoreboard, right? You're tracking stats. You got points, you got hits, you got times, you got saves. Things are being tracked. These stats are what can make or break us, but the confidence is going to rise and fall with the outcomes of some of those stats, and some of those we don't have control over, right? Two bad, unlucky bounces, and that confidence might just tank. Even if you did 95% of the rest of that play right. So if confidence is proof I can do this, what proof are you collecting that is not dependent on the regular scoreboard? Now we're going to break this down here, right? If we want to do this now more in depth, we can. In games and practices, we're not going to break it down this far, but I'm just giving it to you. So then ideally at the end of this, I got 4 main exercises here. You can at least take one and walk away with it. So I want you to think about this or write this down. We got 3 columns. Outcome stats. That's what happened. We got control stats. That's what you did. And we got reset stats. That's how fast you recovered. So if I'm going to give you some examples of this, control stats, for example, might be the sprint speed or effort on transitions, talking, communicating on reps, that next play, body language, shoulders are up, eyes are up, locked in. We could pick a reset stat, right? It's reset time. It's the seconds it takes to return to a neutral position, neutral thought after a mistake. And after a quarter, after a period, after games or reps at practice, or just a game in general, tally the control stat count, the reset time average, post-game circle the controllables that you won. Even if the outcome wasn't, let's see what we can win, what we can do. Now, all around this is helping us with some effort plays and some effort stats, because elite teams are tracking these effort plays like deflections, sprints, box outs, talking. It's not always shown on the stat sheet, but they are repeatable under pressure. And if we can repeat those, we are going to set ourselves up for success. Tracking makes the mastery visible and repeatable. And that is why we are doing this, to improve that self-efficacy that the science says, the control ability and the confidence in our ability. It's going to grow as we master this. And if we can get the repeated proof going, we can elevate our game, which is why we started with this first exercise of the Confidence Scoreboard. So we can see proof in everything before, during, and after. Now we're going to shrink down into a micro confident action, micro confident reset. This is a breathe to button control because our nervous system is going to decide our performance way faster than our thoughts do. It's scary to think about, but our nervous system is going to decide it. Thoughts will screw with the nervous system, but that nervous system decides it. So under pressure, that breathing gets more shallow. The shoulders are going to rise and tense. The vision's going to narrow. Suddenly we are playing tight, even though we're not trying to, and we didn't even think about it. We didn't even notice it. So this is a question I always ask people. I say, what if your confidence doesn't start in your mind, but it actually starts in your breathing pattern? I want to make sure that we can handle this and we know how to react or pre-act to these situations, right? It could be a reset breath, or maybe we're just counting our breaths to 10. But if we want to get a reset breath, it could be inhaling for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, inhale for 4, out for 6. Do that 2 rounds, 4 to 6, 2. You get me? Tie a button cue this to this. Maybe it's like a word, maybe it's like an action. It's something that we can move everything forward with. Next, calm, attack. Now, if you can track this in a game, awesome. If they were doing it at practice, even better if afterwards you can just think about writing something down, typing it in your phone, texting it to yourself of if you did this, how many times you did this, how many times you caught yourself doing it. It could just be that. So then you can start doing it more often. It can even be the speed of this, right? Did you happen and then you go immediately to the breath, count 10 breaths, 10 seconds. Did you do it? And when we are reviewing this, it's not just going to be, did I feel confident? It's going to be, but did I run my protocol? Did I run my plan, my actions that I was going to do? Training this breath is a huge thing that top high performers are going to do. It directly influences this thing called arousal regulation, how much up they are, how down they are. Staying controlled by controlling the breathing helps the attention, helps the performance, helps handle the stress. Now we're going to zoom out a little bit more here. We're going to have reset reps. Now I use these quite a lot, right? We're going to try and move on, but then God just can't move on, like no matter what. A script is in our head, but we need to have our own script for moving on. That is when confidence is going to skyrocket, when we can trust our ability to recover no matter what has happening in the play, because mistakes will stop being threats then, and they will just be parts of the game. So this might not be the most important stat, but what if the most important stat was not points, but it was how many times you reset on command to get back to your ultimate peak play? This can go back to our columns if we want to, but find a 3-step and 1-step reset, right? We go over this time and time again, but if you want just this quick R's to go through: release, refocus, and re-engage, right? It's release the tension. It's going to be refocus the thoughts on something else, see something, and re-engage with the action, clapping, pointing, saying something, sprinting, something that can get us, boom, back into it. Now, this is what we work on a lot one-on-one, but take these ideas and use them. Turn what we're just doing, maybe common mistake you kind of use, like something that you do. Maybe you're out of the blocks a little slow. If I make this mistake, got to make these if-then plans. Then I'm going to double down and just try to run faster, right? Maybe track isn't the best example, especially if it's like a 100-meter dash. You only got 10, 13, 14 seconds to make up for that one. But these resets, okay, these can be reset reps. Every reset executed is like another rep. It's another thing that we're doing. And now maybe you connect them to multiple things, high five, have a talk, give someone a little encouragement, pat, right? Something that keeps them going. That's an extra rep. So then we can even look back at this if we need to. Well, at practice, I think I did like 10 to 15 reset reps, and my confidence was pretty dang good today. Last time I only did like 7, and the confidence was not nearly as good. This is proof that we can recover, right? This mentally tough topic is not from people who are magically calm. They are just automatic with their routines. It's reliable. And that reliability is what ultimately creates the confidence. They have all these, if this happens, then I do X. If Y happens, X is going to follow. No matter the pressure, it's automatic for them. And lastly, just another idea to track besides just the regular stats is this proof for practice and making a protocol out of it. This is macro tracking, day in, day out, different topics, different ideas that help us out, right? Game day confidence. Think about this like it is rented, and practice habits are going to pay the rent for the game day confidence. Now, if you don't have the receipts for the week, your brain is going to show up on game day and it's going to be like, I hope I'm ready, but I don't really know what's going to happen. So that's why we always got to ask ourselves, all right, like what proof did you earn yourself this week to know that you are ready to perform? So if you need to, after practice, think about 1 to 10 on the intensity scale. How intense were you at practice for focus? How focused were you? If you had one win, what was that win? If you had one adjustment, what was that adjustment? If you had one recovery action, sleep, hydration, mobility, some more breathing, what was it? Get a weekly total going. How many days did you show up, master that day? If you've listened to other episodes or if we worked together, you know, we probably try and get a win out of that practice, right? We try and make something out of it. How many did you do that? If we need to get some well-being stats with it, soreness, mood, sleep, stress, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, measure this out. See good days, see bad days. Now, I know not everyone's going to want to do that. I've worked with enough athletes now to know. I mean, you're in high school, you're in middle school, you're barely doing what you want to do, but you're going to take one of these, or then you will actually implement it if someone is holding you accountable for it, or you got that trainer, that coach working you through it. It's whoever, a friend even. That's why we share these. So hopefully people will do it together. You can start to track and you can hold people accountable. You can ideally look back at this on Sundays and see what patterns helped out, what patterns hindered, stole that confidence, and then find a controllable piece for next week that you know you can measure, that you know is going to make you better, right? There's so many controllable pieces that maybe we think about sometimes, not too many times: sleep, recovery, focus, intention. But then you don't stick to it, or you just walk away with a little uncertainty, and then you go back in the game day and you're like, I mean, I'm going to play the game I love, but we'll see what happens. It does not have to be, we'll see what happens. Whoa, it can be. We know exactly what we did. We know the exact gameplay, even if it goes off course a little bit. We are going to be fully ready to go. It's this self-monitoring. It's this reflection piece. It is the engine of improvement. It's the engine of confidence. You can then adjust your training. You can then understand and have the monitoring going better. Now, before we wrap this one up, I want to make sure we understand this is micro, very instant in practice or game, all the way up to macro of a weekly scale, of a seasonal scale, of a yearly scale. How we can look at this tracking, this one important piece that can 10x our confidence, tracking our controllables for confidence. Now, we talked about that confidence scoreboard, kind of pre-assessing it, getting stuff ready to take in, the controllables that we think we have, some resets and not just the outcomes at the end. And then we dive deep into the micro setting of it, of just a breathing reset, or breathe to button, lock in and load up and go. Reset reps of things that we can say to ourselves to reassess, to recharge, to get ourselves ready to go. These measurable skills is what we can turn recovery into if we can use these reps reach out for more specifics on that. And then a practical practice proof protocol, right? A lot of P's in there, but stack the weekly receipts. Go into the game paying the rent, know the rent was paid, and then some, had a lot saved in the account so you can go out there and ball out. If you want to be the most confident version of you, it's not chasing a feeling of confidence. It is collecting the proof. Now, if you want some training or to have these built into a real system for you, where your mindset and the mental game gets trained like you train your body and your specific skill, check out our training at TAH, The Athlete's Health, with our friend Noah Jim. If anything, just take our free mental max out finder, right? Find where your confidence, clarity, composure stay, your commitment, your character, your curiosity. Get on a free mental training call so you can level up your game with at least one exercise. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing this. And that's what this mental performance playbook is for. My name is Gabe Rummel, founder of this podcast, this episode, founder of The Athlete's Health. And I hope you took something out of this. If you like this, please share this with someone. And otherwise, I will catch you next week and we'll get some more guests on this for 2026 for you. Peace.